Alright all, and welcome back to a new video. It's been a while for Blair White's blog here, getting back into the video scene and looking forward to the Cheltenham Festival of 2022. Obviously we had the Horses to Follow video, which was around a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and thank you very much for the support on that video and also the written article that accompanied it. I really do appreciate it. Obviously in recent weeks plenty has transpired, and you'll notice probably this year that this channel will still offer plenty of content, but maybe not quite as much as it used to. That's due to myself and Josh's Let's Talk Racing channel going a little bit above and beyond, I suppose, now with the association with Racing TV being a real kind of happy step and an exciting step for the two of us, and fingers crossed that can lead to better video content for us going through the jump season. Also with my association with Which Bookie, the odds comparison site, where I'm doing an awful lot of daily tips and selections alongside a few Ante-Post videos for them as well. Means that my time, I suppose, is being a little bit more shunted around the place than it has been the last couple of years, and you might see me kind of less so on many different channels this year and more so just trying to concentrate on the 2 or 3 big ones, and then also obviously I've got plenty going on at my work as well. So it's just going to be one of those things. I'm going to try and produce as many videos from my own channel as possible, and hopefully you guys do appreciate it. But throughout Let's Talk Racing and even for Which Bookie, I've put up a few Ante-Post selections so far, but just looking at the markets currently, because I don't want to after time, I don't want to be that guy who's saying, oh well, I did this, I did that. I'm going to be giving you 4 Ante-Post selections for the current markets for the Cheltenham Festival 2022, and fingers crossed these 4 can lead us on the right path going forward. I've done this video plenty of times in the last couple of years with 6 selections, 4 selections, 5 selections. I've gone for 4. I think they're a decent enough blend at decent enough prices as well. I think the shortest price I'm going for is 12 to 1, the biggest price 50 to 1. So you can make a mind what you will in that. Starting off though with the 12 to 1 selection, and it's going to come, I think a few of you are probably going to beat me over the head for this, but I'm going to go back to the well, and it's the National Hunt Chase and it's Run Wild Fred. I just think looking at this race, the more and more I look at it, the more and more he's got the profile for it. And I know he didn't run at the Cheltenham Festival last year in the Kim Muir, but I think he would have gone very close in that race. And now being back in the care of Gordon Elliott, I cannot see why Gordon won't take this horse over to Cheltenham as long as he's fit and sound. Obviously last year with the whole Gordon issue, then it was over to Denise Foster, and they wanted a crack at the Irish National. I can understand that, but they can still have a crack at a National while going to try and win the National Hunt Chase this time round. It wouldn't surprise me if his long-term aim is actually now the Aintree National. But you can still take this race in during that time over 3 miles 6, and I think he's just got all the right credentials for it. I understand he's 12 to 1 and he is favoured for the market, so I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but I suppose long-term viewers will know how obsessed I am with this horse, and I don't want to be the one that's not on the day he gets the job done. I'd be thinking that he'll probably be out in the next couple of weeks, again, all being well with him, and probably start off in a beginner's chase, because he still hasn't won a race over fences, and it's something that, yeah, you're a little bit dubious that he hasn't won a race over fences, but if he does go out and win that beginner's chase, then he becomes an 8 to 1 shot, 7 to 1 shot, and I do want to get a double figure price while I can. So Run Wild Fred, the first one to go in at 12 to 1 for the National Hunt Chase. Moving on to the Ballymore Novices Hurdle. And there's been a little bit of money for this horse. I don't know whether it's just because of a few interesting trainer quotes, or Patrick Mullen seems to love the horse as well, but a horse that was in the Horses to Follow, and a horse I just can't wait for coming back over hurdles this year is Dysart Dynamo, and he's currently 16 to 1. I'm going to take that. I have put him up at a slightly bigger price in a Let's Talk Racing video, but that's irrelevant now. It was around a month ago. If you got on at that price, well done to you, and more luck to you. But I think this horse is still a good price at 16 to 1, because the likes of Kilcrut and Sir Gerhard are making these novice hurdle markets the way they are, and you're getting potentially, if you want to take those horses on, a slightly bigger price about a horse that maybe should be 10 or 12 to 1 based off his bumper form. I believe, I think he's up there with some of the best bumper form in Ireland. He looks like an absolute tank, and if he learns to settle and jump sufficiently, I think he should be a really good recruit. I think the Ballymore will be the race he'll end up being targeted at, because he does look like a stayer to me. 2.5 miles would seem ideal, and 16 to 1, I think that's a pretty decent price. Moving on to the Mares Novices hurdle, and again dipping my toe into the Willie Mullins waters, as one probably should in these Mares races, with Brandy Love at 25 to 1. I think she's a decent and probably too big a price at 25 to 1, all being considered. She's a decent mare. She did it quite nicely on her bumper debut at Fairyhouse last year, having been well regarded, having won her point to point. She then went on to finish third in the Mares Bumper at the Dublin Racing Festival when sent off 10 to 11 that day, and Patrick Mullins was on board, so you'd have to think they were expecting a little bit more from her. Even that being said, Grangy beat Party Central in a photo finish in that race, and both of those have gone on to win further graded honours at the Punchestown Festival, and Party Central has already taken a maiden hurdle out this year. I think Brandy Love's the type of mare that could rock up in a mare's maiden hurdle in the next couple of weeks, all being well, and if she won that, suddenly people would remember who she was, and she could be more than halved in price, maybe down to 12 to 1, 10 to 1. Brandy Love's the type of mare I want to be the right side of this year, and at 25 to 1 I think I need a nip in earlier than later. And the final selection comes in the Albert Bartlett Novices hurdle, and this is probably the wild swing of the four, and it is Bardenstown Lad at 50 to 1. I think he's a massive price for John McConnell. I know some guys in the comments are really quite keen on some of McConnell's horses, and I know one or two of them have mentioned this Bardenstown Lad to me and asked me what they thought of him. I think he's got a great profile for this race. He's already ran 3 times over hurdles. He's entered up in Cheltenham on Friday in the race that Street of Doyen won last year as well, before coming third in the Albert Bartlett. I'd love to see him take his opportunity in that race. I don't know whether the plan is to or not, but given that he's got an entry, you'd have to presume that they are seriously considering it. And if he goes over to that race and shows that a liking for the track and a liking for 3 miles, I think he could well be halved in price, especially if he went very close. You're obviously looking at his previous form and thinking that 2 miles 6, even at Navan last time round, didn't seem to be even a sufficient amount of stamina required, and Tully Begg beat him alongside Edison and Kent. Tully Begg's gone on to frank that form by winning a conditions hurdle at Gowran Park, should I say, when he beat Hewick. Hewick's gone on to win the Durham National in the Hack Canter yesterday, so it's one of those races where it's actually building up decent form, and Bardenstown Lad's bringing good form to the table. I think a 3 mile step up and trip at Cheltenham should suit this horse down to the ground, as I think he can't stay further enough than this. And I think at 50 to 1 you're entitled to a wild swing at times with these Cheltenham Ante-Post markets. You're trying to find a bit of value. Anyone could come on here and say Bob Ollinger for the Marsh. I don't want to be that person. I'm going to put up 4 selections of decent prices, and hopefully you guys think they're okay. Some of you might back them, some of you might not back them. But that's what I want to hear from you guys. So if you have enjoyed this video, please do give it a like and subscribe to the channel down below. And of course, let me know about the 4 Ante-Post selections and your candid thoughts on them. Don't mince your words, it's okay. I can take it obviously, and I really want to know your opinions as well for those specific races as well. The Mares Novice, the Albert Bartlett, you know, the Ballymore. Do you think Kilcruit and Sir Gerhard are just a step out of the rest? That's an interesting point of contention. I think Dysart Dynamo could well end up edging in there and potentially be better than at least one of those 2 horses this year. But those are the opinions of the Cheltenham Festival, and that's what I love doing, and love, you know, ticking over those brain cells until March. But I really hope you did enjoy this video, and if you did, of course, as I said, like the video and subscribe down below for plenty of National Hunt content over the next few months. And of course, go over to Let's Talk Racing if you could, and subscribe to myself and Josh's channel as well. That would be much appreciated. But until next time, please stay safe, stay well, land a few bets in the interim. I'll see you guys very soon.